Who or what is the creator of our life path? The journey of exploration of our creativity identified the need for a paradigm or perspective on creation that held our creativity sacred and empowered one to embrace and step into the depth and breadth of their creative power and creative ability. One question that arose that the paradigm needed to address was, if we are creators capable of creating both our experiences and the reality of those experiences, what is our relationship to that which gave rise to all of creation, both seen and unseen? What is our relationship with the Creator, with a capital C, and does one even exist? As was said on a previous recording, one of the major perspective-changing observations from this journey of exploration was creation does not work the way the mind thinks. We are faced with needing to become aware of the limitations of the human mind relative to the unseen when dealing with the unknown, which includes our relationship with the Creator. Realizing that any paradigm at best could only provide a glimmer as to how creation really works, the question was, is there a way to view creation such that how all the types and kinds of experiences individuals have could be supported as true and reproducible under the correct conditions? The answer to this question also needed to address an observation of a paradox encountered about the Creator or God, whichever you prefer. The experience most common about that which gave rise to creation that we call God, the Creator, the creative force, or whatever we want to call it, it seems to be very impersonable. It was unreachable except through maybe elaborate rituals, prayers, ceremonies, and intermediator, and the like. Yet, in contrast, a tremendous number of people will report some type and kind of extremely personal experience that they know they have experienced God or the Creator, and that Creator loves them and cares about them as a unique individual that they are. Many have also experienced both aspects, very impersonal but yet very personal. The question was, can this paradox be explained? Additionally, the journey into the exploration of our creativity included my personal experiences around the concept of the life path, which indicated the Creator was very interested in our life path, giving it great love and attention, grooming the gifts we carried within us. The answer to these questions relative to the Creator of our life path is consistent with empowering individuals to follow their own life path, and if so, led to explore the depth and breadth of their creativity is as follows. As such, it may not be an answer for everyone. Now, this answer does not necessarily correspond to the traditional understanding of God or the Creator found in much of the literature and traditions about God and the Creator. Here again, you are to remember two things. One is this discussion of the Creator arises from the creativity perspective, where our creativity is held sacred, which seeks to inspire individuals to embrace their own creativity as a creator. Here you need to remember two things. One is this discussion of the Creator arises from the creativity perspective, where our creativity is held sacred, and which seeks to inspire individuals to embrace their own creativity as a creator. The second is that the Creator discussed here seems to answer all the questions encountered about the Creator when looking into the depths and breadth of the creative power and creative ability available to us and experiences that individuals reported as having with the Creator. Within the creativity perspective, to access the depth and breadth of our creative power and creative ability, it has been found very beneficial and appropriate to look as if there are four aspects to our being, and each functions somewhat differently creatively. This statement is another paradox. Although creatively there appear to be four aspects to our being, each capable of having a perception of reality unto itself, there is only one being, and these four aspects are all interconnected. We are simultaneously each of these separate aspects collectively, yet each one individually. What we experience depends on how we focus our attention and awareness. Now, in talking about these four aspects, it needs to be understood these aspects are only my mind's characterization of our being as a creator. As stated before, the human mind is limited and will always be incomplete in any description of what exists in the unseen realm of existence and how creation works. However, my experience has shown that what is provided here effectively pieces together all the individual experiences individuals report, and it's a good approximation to begin to access the depth and breadth of the creative power and creative ability available to us, and explain many of the phenomena people have reported about their experiences with the unseen. The four aspects of our being is there is a human mind, a human body, what we can call our higher self, and then there is the awareness that, as a human being, it appears to lie behind the mind and the body. Some call this awareness the observer or the detached witness. This awareness permeates our mind, body, and our higher self and utilizes each of these for the experience it has. Starting with this awareness, all that really can be said about it is our individualized aspect of the consciousness which lies behind and within creation. Our awareness is ultimately what gives rise to all aspects of our being and the experiences we have. It creates these experiences by how it defines itself, by what it chooses to think and believe and chooses to experience. This awareness can have an experience where it simultaneously perceives all of creation in a oneness as an undifferentiated or non-separated awareness, yet paradoxically retaining its individualized awareness. But anyone who thinks they can characterize and describe what is experienced in such an experience as an undifferentiated or non-separated consciousness as a human being, in human terms, really is not paying attention to their own awareness. To be human is to exist within a self-imposed limitation to have the experience of creation as a human being. All that can really be said is that all arises out of oneness, and we will leave the topic of oneness now and revisit it in a future recording. The concept of the body used here within the creativity perspective is not too different than most people understand, but how it is recommended to be used is different. There are the needs unique to the body as a vehicle for the physical experience as a human being at this particular time and place. We need to become aware of the unique needs of our body and become aware of what we feel and what the body communicates to us. The body is much like an antenna, and it is continually sensing the energy of its environment. Unless we have shut down our ability to feel, as many have done so as not to feel pain, we can sense this energy and access the information carried by the energy. The body can warn us of situations that are not or will not serve our being. However, most experience what the body senses by how our mind interprets the energy that is sensed into creating thoughts. There is a body wisdom arising from what is perceived by the body and a mind-body connection where the mind-body greatly influences each other. If you wish, you can look at the body as a composite vehicle. Every cell within the body is alive, yet every cell within the body is composed of materials that we would call not alive. You can visualize our creative life energy provided by our creative spirit, which animates our life, as overlaying or infusing every cell of our body. In doing so, it brings the body alive as an entity it is and intimately ties it to all aspects of our being. It is here the mind-body connection becomes extremely powerful. In addition to animating the body with life, our life force determines the form of the body to give us the experiences we desire to have. Our life force is what creates our health and illness. Our mind, in many ways, acts as a switching station for our creative life energy to create our experiences, aligning with or diverting the energy, much like one would divert the flow of a river. If an illness, accident, or disease gives us experiences our awareness desires to have, it manifests. If we do not supply sufficient life force to manifest health, we create an illness or some other bodily experience that is not vibrant with life. It ultimately all depends on our life path and what we incarnated to do and how our mind does or does not align with the flow of our creative life energy, the mind. The concept of mind as used here relative to our creativity is a little different than the way most use the concept of mind. Where the body is the vehicle we use to experience physical creation, the mind is the vehicle our individuated consciousness uses to experience creation in any aspect of creation, physical creation, or any other realm of creation. In this regard, the awareness of mind is ultimately what creates our body as a vehicle for the physical experience. Mind can be seen as a property, attribute, or aspect of awareness or consciousness, and the ego, or maybe better said, the ego identity, is how the mind defines itself or sees itself within the creation it is experiencing. The challenge is to create an ego which serves us and what we incarnated to do. There are two parts to our mind. There is our human mind that arises from our current experience as a human being and can be described as our conscious mind and aspects of our subconscious and unconscious mind. Creatively, you can look at the subconscious mind as being a shallow portion of the unconscious mind. Both are accessible but accessed in slightly different ways. The second part of our mind can best be described as a transcendental mind, which is everything that lies outside the human mind and the experiences mind has as a human being. The transcendental mind is, in essence, the unconscious mind and is also reflective of the holographic aspect of our consciousness discussed below. Simply said, the conscious mind is the mind we experience from within the perspective of the body we inhabit. The unconscious mind is a much deeper and broader aspects of mind and involves the aspect of the body, the mind within the body, and the mind of our higher self. Our higher self is the aspect of our being that remains outside physical creation and is in contact with the human mind and body with all aspects of creation. A way to look at the higher self is to think of a wave on the ocean and its many crests and troughs between the crests. Think of the crest from the top of the crest to the bottom of the trough as an individualized consciousness, but any one crest is connected to the whole ocean below the trough, and it is in communication with the whole ocean. Analogously, our higher self is connected and in contact with the consciousness that lies behind creation. It is in this connection with all aspects of creation that allows it to coordinate the experience it desires to have with any realm in which an aspect of it incarnates. It is the connection of our higher self with the consciousness within and behind creation that allows for the magic, the mystical, and the synchronistic to appear in our life. It is this connection that allows for creation to give us the experience of what we think and believe, unique as that experience may be. There is a caveat about the model for our higher self that is reflected in the origin of the word caveat from the original Latin saying, "Let the person beware." It needs to be clearly understood that this individualized crest on the ocean both simultaneously retains its individualized aspect with the whole ocean, but also becomes the whole ocean in what it knows and perceives. Hence, we as an individualized awareness become holographic. As any hologram, we have the whole within us, but as any hologram, a piece retains the whole image, but some clarity is lost because it is only a piece of the whole. Although our higher self is in contact with the whole, it sees the big picture for our life. Our higher self looks to our overall unfoldment in the bigger scheme of creation. As such, it will usually direct us towards the reason why we incarnated. Relative to our ultimate unfoldment, we need to remember nothing is ever wasted and there are no schedules to keep. We can divert ourselves if we so choose, but we need to get our higher self on board for any significant changes. Besides, it will have to orchestrate the changes with all the other players that agreed to give us the experiences we said we wanted. However, our higher self is much wiser than our human mind as to what we are here to do, and as such, it does not always readily allow our human mind to get what it wants. The question then becomes, how do we focus our attention and awareness to access what information we desire and or creation from within the realm of infinite possibilities? The only issue is, what does our life path and the current incarnation ask of us in this and any other moment in our physical life? Does what our human mind want in some way conflict or interfere with our life path? The question is, what aspect of our creative power and creative ability have we blocked so as not to interfere with the experiences we desire to have in this incarnation? So the answer to the original question, who or what is the creator of our life path, and why should this creator be so interested in our life path, giving it the love and attention it does? The answer is our higher self is the creator of our life, which is just an aspect of ourselves and an individualized aspect of the consciousness within and behind creation. As such, it has an invested interest in our life and its unfoldment. To deny the body and the life experiences to which we are led, we are denying our own creation, and in essence, we fight ourselves. More importantly, we are denying ourselves and the creative power and ability we possess. This denial, in turn, robs us of our creative power and creative ability. It is important for us to take responsibility for the experiences we are having and look to see what the experiences we are having is asking us to experience. We can always ask for clarification and understanding. We will get an answer in some way if we're open to the answer. Within this understanding, we can see how we each can have a very personal, direct experience with the Creator, including the magic, the mystical, the synchronicity it can provide to us. Yet, because we are connected to the unfolding creation at this particular time and this particular place, we can see how impersonal creation and the Creator can be. Yet, we have a role in this unfolding larger creation, and our role is orchestrated within the whole. Our particular role is encoded in the flow of creative life energy that brought us into this life and sustains our life. When we align with our own internal guidance, we are playing our own unique role in the larger creation. I personally found the way to deal with living in this paradox is to listen to my internal guidance and follow it and align my life with my life path. In doing so, I know I am being guided and fully integrated in with the role I am asked to play in the seemingly impersonal physical creation. Even when there are difficulties, there is an inner satisfaction with life, regardless of what is happening in the external world and the challenges being offered.